Tree Country 1330 WTRE. It's 10:11, and we've got the north end of the county schools are in today. We had south last month, so welcome in, guys.
Thank you.
Good morning.
You guys are both newbies this year.
We are. Yes, we are.
Yeah. So getting broken in, right? Let's start the elementary.
Yeah.
This is your first time. This is you came back.
I did. So I started my career with Decatur County. Did my student teaching here in the fall of 2003 with Mr. Sam Field, and then landed my first teaching job at South Elementary in the fall of 2004. Spent about 3 years there. And then made the transition back to North Decatur and spent 5 years there as a teacher. And then got into the admin world and had an assistant principal job at Hagerstown Elementary. And then the last 12 years I've been at Morristown as the principal there. And so now I'm back.
And now you're back. Back to North Decatur.
Back to North Decatur, yep. Back to my roots.
All right. And then high school also.
Yes.
New this year. I know you were on it before school started this year.
Yeah.
But tell us, just kind of give us a little briefing about you as well so everyone knows you well.
Sure. As far as career?
Yeah.
Yeah. So started in education, 19 years ago. Yeah. So teacher at Lafayette Jeff for 7 years, and then made the transition into administration at Centerville High School. I was the AP for 7 years, and then the principal for the last 4. So I'm making transition to North now. So yeah.
All right. So we're rocking and rolling on the north end of the county.
Absolutely.
School year is off and going. Hard to believe the first quarter is already over.
Yes.
Yes.
We've had a fall break and
Much needed fall break.
Yes. And so, things have been running really smooth for us. Our enrollment at the elementary is looking really, really good. We have several kids who are out of districts. Actually, I believe over 190 students are out of district. And our preschool's up and running this year, and they're level 3 paths to quality, and things are looking good.
This is the first year for preschool.
It is, yes.
How has that been since you came in fresh this year as well, but getting that program up and going? And
so Jeremy Sherman, this has been his thing, and he's been the driving force behind that, and so it's up and running, and the fact that they have fast-tracked to a level 3 paths to quality is outstanding. So that program is looking great, and we hope to continue to expand that in the future.
All right. How about at the high school as far as numbers kicking off this school year?
Yep. So 7 through 12, I checked the numbers earlier this week. So 426. So 7 through 12, and I think about 141 of them are 7th and 8th graders. So yeah.
All right.
Very strong numbers for.
You
1A.
also came into a whole fresh front office nurse. Guidance.
Man,
so
she had to bring that up, didn't she? Wow.
I've heard great things.
Yes. Well, good. So the whole front office was all brand new. So myself, that we just spoke about, was very fortunate to land Lisa Bennett. She's been awesome. She was at South for the last 19 years as a business teacher. So this is her first year as an administrator. Brand new nurse, lost that nurse actually 3 weeks ago, and then the new nurse actually starts today, so that's Faith Campbell. Brand new secretary and Anna Stengner, so she's been awesome. North Decatur grad. Natasha Bushhorn, which is our guidance registrar, and then Amy Gray, which she used to teach at North.
Yes.
And then Casey Waltz has been the counselor at Hauser the last 4 years, I believe. So, all brand new, which is great. New team, so I guess lower expectations with a new team. I don't know.
Well, let's talk about school, though. So North Elementary, kind of what have you guys got going on right now? We're coming back from fall break just this week. And
so we have some. Well, I'll back up. I'll kind of talk about how things have been going so far.
Sure.
And what we have coming up this year.
You want to talk about your traffic first?
Oh my, yes, the traffic. Yes, that's probably the hardest thing I've had to do this year. But I hope that it's flowing much better. It seems to be. But when you have that many out of district students, you're going to have problems like that. But I guess it's a good thing. So, no, it's been a great start to the year. We started this summer even just as a staff getting to know one another. We did the 4-H parade together as a team. We actually won an award for that, for having the most participants in the 4-H parade. And then they did another parade during the fall festival and got the Ham It Up award. So that's been a lot of fun. Mr. Sherman has been starting some new initiatives with student incentives and initiating a blue ticket system where kids earn those tickets for positive behaviors, and then there's a weekly drawing to get prizes, and then they're in the drawing for some grand prizes towards the end of the semester. We've been doing our field trips. This year we have started what's called a culture committee, and they are coming up with fun activities for both students and staff. So earlier this year, we had a tailgating event before one of the home football games. The PTO covered the cost for hot dogs and chips and all that. Yes. So that's been a lot of fun, and we are doing a final Friday Spirit Day every month and showing our Charger pride. We've also had some local residents and businesses doing a catered lunch for our staff on those Fridays as well. So that's been a nice treat. Let's see here. Our fundraiser this year, our annual walkathon, we raised almost $36,000.
Oh, wow.
So that is
And that's the one and only for the year. Is that right?
That's the one and only. Yes, absolutely. And lots of great fun prizes with that. Again, our PTO, they organize all that for us and do an outstanding job. And then Miss Blair, our counselor, she has started what's called a Chat and Chew program, where she is inviting in members of the community to focus on certain jobs and trades each month and have lunch with the kids and just have an informal discussion about what they do for a living. And so last month was over health science, and actually we had our October one yesterday, and it was over education and training.
I got to come to the health sciences one.
Oh, you did?
I did, yes. What a neat experience for the kids.
Yeah.
Like, very cool, because you interact with we were there for all the grades.
Yes, yeah.
And they all have different questions and different thoughts about it.
Yes.
But very neat idea that
Oh
she's done.
yeah, it was great. So we also renamed the driveway in the front of the building as in honor of Rob Smith, who was the principal there for 28 years. We renamed that as Rob Smith Drive, and so he's left a great impact on our school and community. So that seemed very fitting to do that for him. Just some other events. We've had breakfast buddies this year. The FFA has done a kitty tractor pull for our kids at recess time. The leadership class has been coming over to read to our kids, and archery practice is going on, and girls basketball, and just the whole thing.
All the stuff.
All the stuff.
All the stuff is happening. That's
It's been busy. So coming up next week we have Red Ribbon Week, and the book fair's coming up, Christmas program in December, so it never ends.
My nephew came home, he's like, we started Christmas songs. I'm like, already? Like,
Yeah.
hard to believe that we're on the home stretch to Christmas break now.
Absolutely, right?
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about high school. What's been happening over there?
Oh, man, what's not been happening? I don't have a detailed list like John does over here, but I'll try to go a lot of things from memory. So a big thing we talked about over the summer was our schedule. A lot of adaptations for that. Kids have been great, really resilient in adding that 9th and 10th class. So staff has been great. Working with the students, trying to figure out a good balanced schedule for them with that regard, especially with the massive overhaul of the diploma and the pathways that go with that. So still working on that. That's going to be a work in progress going into winter break, and then what we're going to do for the next year. So a lot of other things that are occurring as far as like athletics. So we had 5 competition teams for the fall. 4 of those teams have won conference. So we're really pleased about that. Volleyball won conference, undefeated in conference, and they won their sectional out of Morristown. And then they play Trinity Lutheran Saturday. So really looking forward to that. Golf team won the conference as well. and girls cross country is also conference champions, and then boys cross country actually finished second. So, and then you can't forget the football team. They are undefeated in conference as well, and they've got their sectional match this Friday against Greenwood Christian. So very successful as far as athletics concerned at North, something we're very proud of. On the academic side, we're starting to wrap up, obviously, recognition for the first 9 weeks. Those grades went out already, so grade books were finalized today, and they're going to go out later on this afternoon. So then we're going to push for the remaining 9 weeks of the semester, which is just really just amazing how fast we went through the last 9 weeks. So, but yeah. Like I said, what we talked about before over the summer, a lot of transitions and changes, and the staff has been great. Students have been great. So we're really looking forward to finishing the second semester, the second half of it, or first semester, second half of the first semester. So, yeah.
Just rushing time.
You can't keep up.
It goes fast.
Can't keep up.
As you guys have come, into your new roles this year, what's been probably your greatest challenge? Let's start with you, John, from, transitioning from Morristown and then back into North Decatur. You've worked with some people there. You've got some new staff.
Right. I mean, honestly, it's been great coming back. It has felt like home. Many of the teachers that I taught with are still there. Honestly, for me, my biggest thing, North has always had a history of excellence. And I want to make sure that we continue that. So just making sure that we keep that same level of expectation and rigor. Obviously, Rob was there for 28 years, did an outstanding job. No matter who came into this role, it's going to be a transition. But I think that we're getting along really, really, really well this year. So.
What's kind of been what's to this point? You've got a lot of years left to go. But what maybe the highlight up to this point for you in getting started at North?
The highlight of this year so far, honestly, it just coming back and just seeing the wonderful students and families that we have there. That's just been the highlight. Very welcoming, very friendly community. So that's been the best thing for me. And just working with my staff, I have the best staff around. Rob always told me that place will run itself, and he was not wrong about that. The very first day, the day before the school started, he was in the building, and I was so worried about the transportation piece because I was like, I don't know what this is going to look like. I know we've got a lot of car riders and things. And he said, John, you know what? You're going to see these people are going to kick in like you've never seen before. And sure enough, they did. So.
Yes, you made a statement with your transportation.
That's probably been my biggest hurdle this year.
So as you've transitioned to North Decatur, brand new school to you, not being there before, what's been your challenges?
Like I said, just the schedule piece. When I looked over at the first week on the job, I said, wow, this is something else. And obviously the schedule was put in place for a wealth of reasons due to some reduction in force with staff, the changes that are coming down with the diploma, changes that are just affecting the corporation that's out of the hands of the superintendent and the board. And we had to create something that more or less tried to work, and the schedule was based off some of the outgoing administrators when they finalized this back in May. And I think one of the biggest obstacles really was just, lack of communication between the staff, and that's something that I really have been focused on is the transparency. That's just how I lead. I'm not shy to ask questions and say, hey, is this really working? Do we need to change something? And if we have to change it 9 weeks or mid-semester, that's what we have to do. I mean, that's what education is. We got to adapt. And we've been doing just that. We've had some sweeping changes, but like I said, the kids and the staff have been great through the whole process. So
I think, too, with you being in the high school, those kids are a little more aware of a change than what the elementary kids are. So your high school kids walking into whole new everything this year. How has that been for, I guess, just the interaction between all of you as a new staff and then students adjusting?
Great. It's been great. And just to echo what John just talked about, I mean, the community support has been just phenomenal. We both come from different corporations, and I can attest that the sense of community and the support that you get here has just been great. Not overwhelming, I mean, parents understand, and they've been really, really supportive. A lot of times your phone calls are for a different reason, but I get a lot of phone calls that are positive and say, this has been great. We really appreciate it. That gives you some different type of pressure, to maintain that level. But it's been great. I'd rather do that than not have a supportive community. So that's something I've been really, really grateful to have. So. And that's the big thing is the community support that we're really focused on. So yeah, it's that overwhelms the challenges, which has been great. So yeah.
A highlight for you so far this year?
Ooh, wow. Survival. I don't know. No, that's bad. Yeah. Just continuing what we're good at. And like I said, John and I could probably. You could pick us up and put us in another corporation, and we do the nuts and bolts very similarly. I mean, I think that's a fair statement. I mean, yes, as far as being an administrator, I mean, that's what you do. The other things, the intangibles, the things that are out of your control, we don't really have to worry about. Like I said, we got a lot of parent involvement. Students, like I said, they lead. It's not a different building. It's just a different, a couple of different faces, if you will. They've been awesome. I mean, they come up and they want to help out. They want to, do things for you. So we have a lot of young leaders that just say, we got this. And they do it in a very subtle way. But that's a great thing when you walk into the doors and it's a safe, supportive environment. That makes our jobs a lot easier. So,
as we look forward to the rest of this semester, next semester, what are you guys looking forward to as both administrators on the personal level, but also with your students as the year progresses?
Again, I want to keep that academic rigor there, and that expectation, make sure that we're supporting kids and that we're meeting their needs. For me, I'm so used to, at Morristown, I was there for such a long time, and there were less students, but I knew every child there. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I want to get to know these kids more and make sure I know everyone's name. And so trying to be in the cafeteria or just at different events and just talking with the kids outside of classroom and outside at recess and things. I just want to get to know them on a personal level so that I know what their needs are. And
it's hard following Rob Smith, who's been there for so long and had 2 or 3 generations and knows all the connection.
Right. And for me, obviously I wasn't at Morristown as long as what he had been at North, but I knew every child. I had brothers and sisters. I knew who their grandparents were. And so for me, I'm missing that piece, but I know that will come with time.
Very good.
Yeah. He said it. I mean, it's we're going to keep the academic rigor right where it is. If not elevate that expectation.
Absolutely.
And I think parents appreciate that too. Getting kids ready for life after high school, and we usually say that now because 15, 20 years ago we were really preparing them for college. Now we're trying to prepare them for not just college but for the workforce and what really their future endeavors are. So trying to really get that across to them and saying these are the skills that you need regardless if you plan on going to college or not. You'll still be very successful if you do. So that's not going to change. And then, some of the other things that we want to really emphasize, again, is seeing kids outside the classroom. And that's what's great about secondary, is that they get involved in athletics and clubs and drama and all the other, things that we provide. Seeing them in a different element. Kids really appreciate seeing an administrator or, maybe a longtime alumni or somebody that's supporting them. Some of the volleyball girls were shocked that I was at Morristown, last week. And I was like, this is what I do. I want to be here for you guys. And they're like, we really appreciate it. So those are the things that you just see them outside of the classroom and you see them as humans. They're not, just we're going to get them to the next class and we're going to hand them a diploma and then they're off and we forget about them. And that's not what we want to do.
There's a lot of activities going on at both schools. I know you guys have drama coming up. Do you want to give
Yes.
us kind of a highlight of some
Yeah.
things coming up as the
Of course.
rest of the year progresses?
Yeah, so got a couple flyers here, and I know we're on the radio and our audience can't see them, but so our drama club is actually going to be doing the teen edition of Hadestown. That is Friday, November 7th, Saturday, November 8th. Both shows are at 7 p.m., and then on Sunday, November 9th, that show is at 4 p.m. So doors open an hour before. Adults are $10, and then kids, students K through 12 are 8, and then 4 or under are free. So that's something that the drama club is doing. Our gotta get this right. Our spirit club, headed by Mrs. Morris, they're gonna do a Halloween crawl. That's where music, trick or treating, games, face painting, and crafts, and that's gonna be Thursday, October 30th, from 5 to 7. That all occurs in our hallways, so
Fun.
the public's welcome. Kind of maybe get out of the weather since it's a little chilly outside, and then. John talked about this earlier, and I can't emphasize this enough. Our ag department has just been awesome, and with the rigorous curriculum that they're providing, but also their FFA involvement. And so FFA under Mrs. Kessler and Mrs. Mormon, they're going to put on the cider and snow market, which is the 15th of November. From 9 a.m. to 2, and that's when vendors come and they have crafts and they probably make some goodies.
I think last year was the first
Yes,
year for it.
yes, yeah. So again, that's going to happen on the 15th of November from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I know both ladies are still welcoming vendors. I think it's $30 for a spot, so we can have the link available, and you can sign up for that if you have something that you're making in your garage or your barn and you want to sell it. So yeah. I think they get a pretty big turnout for that too. So
last year was very good turnout.
Yeah.
You've got girls and boys basketball be kicking off while we're still wrapping up volleyball and football.
Right. Yeah. So as we mentioned before, volleyball, their regional is at Morristown this Saturday, and the game's we play at 1. Yeah,
Yes,
I think we
1
play at
o'clock.
1, and then football again Friday night. We host that with Greenwood Christian. Kickoff is at 7, and then the boys in cross country regional is at. We're sending us to Evansville for some reason.
I saw that.
Yeah, Shelbyville hosts a regional,
That's
and
where my daughter gets to go.
Yeah, so I don't understand
Not
why
a 3-hour drive.
yeah, I don't know why the IHSA is sending us south, but we've got 3 runners involved in that. Let me make sure I got the names right. So that would be Jackson White and Nora Amsberger, and then Harper Gunn are all gonna represent North for us down at the regional. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that. So yeah, and then to answer your question, sorry, we've got girls and boys basketball starting. They've had open gyms. I'm not exactly sure when they're going to have tryouts, but that'll be coming up here shortly.
It just moves along.
Yeah, and the feeder program of Dirt Road is going to be starting up here soon. So that's always nice to see the kids out there showing their skills.
Get everybody involved early.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, Mr. Korn, what's happening at North Elementary coming up?
Well, like I said, next week is our Red Ribbon Week, and we'll have some dress-up days for that. Friday is Halloween in elementary. That's always a crazy day. Kids will get to dress up for that, and the little ones do the annual parade in the hallways. So looking forward to that. Book fair will be November 3rd through the 7th. And then we have our annual Christmas program coming up in December. We're going to break things up a little bit since we have such a large population. So grades 1st and 2nd will be on December the 1st at 6 p.m. And then also that evening at 7 o'clock, 3rd and 4th grade will be doing there. So we're going to get the first round of kids in, and then get them out, and then bring in the next group. And then 5th and 6th grade, along with the band, their performance will be on December the 18th at 7 o'clock. And then we'll have our annual Family Fun Night on Thursday, December the 4th at 5 p.m. This will be a night where Parents can come in and get tips and tricks from our Title I department, and also participate in some fun games and activities. So that's how the rest of this semester looks. So it'll go by fast.
Well, you've got girls basketball is going on
Girls
now.
basketball, they actually had their first game last evening, and so they play on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just an intramural league, and they also have a couple of games with South Elementary, which that always gets pretty intense.
It's a little fierce when it comes to South. That's right.
That's right.
When will boys start?
After Christmas.
After Christmas. Okay, so a little more time.
Yeah, a little more time for them. So yeah,
very
but
good.
things are going very well. So I know speaking of feeder programs, our youth football program did outstanding. I know our 5th and 6th grade teams had some perfect seasons there, and just great job to those kids and all those coaches who support that program.
All right. So as we look forward to the rest of the school year, getting you settled into your first year, what are some of your own goals? Just surviving. Yes, we're surviving through this, but getting through this first year of school, and what are you looking forward to?
Just to make our campus and our community that much better. They've been, like I said, I've said this a couple times. They've been great. I think John and I's biggest obligation is to do whatever we can to give back to them. Mine is more focused on, again, all the employability skills that we try to teach and train with our students, but really just be there for them. And we've got a lot of challenging things that are going on in our community that we need to make sure that we can do our best to kind of shield them from, but also embrace a lot of changes that are coming as well. We live in a very delicate time right now where at least what I'm dealing with, the kids are trying to identify themselves and trying to grow into themselves and really focus on what they want to do. With these new diploma requirements, the state wants these kids to choose their path, like when they're 7th graders. I don't know about you, but I chose mine, way later in life, and I've changed my opinions a couple times over the years. So that's a kind of an unrealistic expectation, but we try to prepare them for what they're going to face, hopefully, and with years to come. So yeah.
So I told my staff at the beginning of the year, this is my first year as a principal at North Elementary, and whenever you are a new principal someplace, you have to do a lot of observing, a lot of learning that first year. You don't want to come in and change things just off the bat unless there's a need. We always want to do what's in the best interest of kids. And thankfully, coming into North Elementary, as I mentioned, they have a long tradition of success. So I didn't need to come in this year and make a lot of changes. For me, I want to continue to get to know our kids. Our teachers do a great job of meeting on a regular basis, having those PLC meetings, professional learning communities that we do on Wednesdays to talk about student progress and growth towards goals that they have for those kids. And so one of my main objectives and focus for this year is to make sure we don't let any kids slip through the cracks. And what we have to do is meet kids where they're at, and that may look different from one child to the next. But we want to make sure that we're meeting them and giving them all the supports that they need to be successul. So
very good.
That's the plan.
Well, things are going right along at North Decatur.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to add this morning that we've missed?
I don't.
I missed something. Our National Honor Society will be hosting our Veterans Day program on Tuesday, November 11th. Breakfast for the veterans will be at 8:30 in our cafeteria, and then we'll start our program at 10. So any veterans out there in our community are more than welcome to attend, and it'll be a first for me.
It's always a big program.
Yeah. So we're super excited about it. So yeah.
Just again, thank you for welcoming me back to this community. And it's been a great start to the year, and I know it's going to keep trending that way.
Did you do Oreo stacking?
I did.
I didn't hear your number.
Okay. So, so my number was, I believe I got up to 26 or 28.
Oh.
Right around there. Yep. but Mr. Sherman came through and had 31.
That's what I heard. I got to 22.
Yeah. Honestly, I was more interested in sampling the Oreos than
the
stacking
real.
them. I mean, let's be honest.
Let's look at the real end result, right? It was the favorite Oreos.
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on today and updating the community on all that's going on.
Well,
Thank you for having us.
It's 10:40 on Tree Country 1330.